So the last 3 years, it's no surprise to any of us, the economy has been very challenging. So people have called it the Great Recession. So some companies may not have been able to make those investments. There's some companies that have made investments when they should have been cutting in technologies that transform the business. Do you have an example of cases where we may have seen an investment and it's paying off?
I guess that, as Simon said, using somebody else as a case study is a bad example, so I'll actually use ourselves, if you'll indulge me for a moment. So everybody would agree, as we discussed earlier, that the last 2 years have been really hard. Right? The economy's been really, really tough. 2006 was a lot better. Yet as an organization, we've invested $2 million in adding more technology, changing our platform for managed services, changing our CRM and our project management platforms because of the efficiencies that we believe we would gain as a business, not have to put more bodies in place in order to get things accomplished.
So what kind of benefits has Atreon seen as a result of these investments? Because $2 million in a 2-year span is heavy investments for a company our size.
Yeah. I think the biggest benefit fundamentally is emerging and yet to be determined, or yet to be seen. And that is, we've literally transformed our business and what we can bring to our community, to our client and partner community, with the investments that we've made in managed services technologies. We didn't have to completely change and invest more than $1 million in a new managed services platform, but it's allowed us to have a completely different conversation and to add more value to our client community. An example of that would be, you look at an application, and when we look at things that organizations have to run, if we said that we can't ask the business for more money, but we want to transform, we want to grow. So we have to find ways to, and there was a significant percentage of people who responded who said that they would actually cut the 10% from run. So you have to look at running differently, and how can I run differently? There are utility things that I just have to keep running. I have to keep email running, for example, as you had mentioned earlier. So what we've done is made it so that managing and running email, we have a new service, a max time messaging service is what we call it, where we are proactively able to manage all of the infrastructure associated with delivering mail service for an organization across the board. So it's very holistically done. We're not just managing a mail server. We're looking at all of the infrastructure involved in delivering that key service for an organization, so that now that we can proactively identify any number of areas, because it's not always the mail app or the mail server. It could be DNS, it could be the internet connection, it could be a firewall problem that could potentially, or something with a switch, that all could be potentially impacting on email. And you chase your tail trying to find those things. Our investments allow us to help our customers to lower their operational or run costs by finding a more creative or more innovative way to manage those things.
So it allowed us to create new services to bring to the market.
Yes.
So
we transformed in a time when most organizations are cutting and saying, let's just keep the lights on.